What is today? International Face and Body Art Day is celebrated annually on February 1st. It honors face and body artists and exceptional artworks from around the world. Face and body art is painting, tattoos, piercings, branding, or sculpting on the human body. Face and body art date back to the Stone Age of 10,000 BC. Face and body art are known for capturing how humans relate to experiences, celebrations, transitions in life, or identifying a person's place within society, among other things. This is a day to celebrate the amazing self-expression that is face and body art, both temporary and permanent. The exceptional work some people are able to create using face paint is an art worth celebrating. Honor this day by checking out some amazing face and body artists or trying to do some face painting yourself. What is today? Groundhog Day on February 2nd is when we ask if are we in for 6 more weeks of winter. Only a groundhog named Punxsutawney Phil knows for sure. Each year on Groundhog Day, people flock to Nobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania to await the forecast of the local rodent celebrity, originating with German settlers who came to Pennsylvania in the 1700s and brought their seasonal superstitions with them. Legend has it that if Phil sees his shadow on February 2nd, the winter chill will continue. Oddly, if the weather is cloudy and he doesn't see his shadow, we can expect warmer temperatures and early spring. Groundhog Day is a tradition to be cherished, and yes, it is also a film starring Bill Murray. I'll have a second video posted later today letting everyone know what the groundhog has to tell us for this season. Cross your fingers and your toes. Don't put away that heavy coat, those skis, or the mittens too quickly. According to CNN, Punxsutawney Phil, the legendary groundhog weather watcher, woke up and saw his shadow Thursday morning, calling for 6 more weeks of winter. Each February 2nd on Groundhog Day, the members of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club make the pilgrimage to Gobbler's Knob, Phil's official home. The group waits for Phil to leave his burrow, and legend has it, if he sees his shadow, we're in for 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, we get to bask in early spring. Phil and his friends have been predicting the seasons since 1887, according to his website. Phil's prediction track record is not exactly perfect. On average, Phil has gotten it right 40% of the time over the past 10 years, so don't fret too much. While the tradition remains popular in the 21st century, studies have found no consistent association between a groundhog seeing its shadow and the subsequent arrival time of spring-like weather. What is today? Tonight, rather. Take the chance to hang out with your pup on National Doggy Date Night on February 3rd. You're working all day, out running errands, or spending time with your family and loved ones. How about slowing down to spend some quality time with the one who is always there for you, your dog? Who started Doggy Date Night? No one really knows. Perhaps it was one smart canine who needed a night on the town. Head out to a dog park, grab a puppuccino or some Frosty Paws, put in a Lassie movie, or have a wag your butt competition. February is a month-long celebration of love. Why not start it off right by letting your 4-legged friend know how much you care? Doggy Date Night is here to act as the perfect reminder to spend some one-on-one time with that loyal furry friend. What is today? The words neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from swift completion of their appointed rounds have long been associated with the American postal worker. Though not an official creed or motto of the United States Postal Service, the Postal Service does acknowledge it as an informal motto. With those words now implanted in our minds, let's welcome today as National Thank a Mail Carrier Day, celebrated on February 4th. This is a day set aside to give recognition to mail people across the United States. For 6 days of the week, minus observed federal holidays, of course, and 52 weeks a year, mail carriers work hard to deliver letters and documents that are important to you. Make sure to thank your mail person with a smile or a wave, or if you're very, very bold, a hug if they drop by today. All right, maybe not a hug. Maybe a fist bump, or maybe a high five. What is today? You're going to love this one. Dump Your Significant Jerk Day is celebrated around the world on the first Sunday in February of each year, and this year it will be held on February 5th. Do you or someone you know have a relationship with someone who is just plain awful? The answer is most likely yes. This holiday encourages those who need a little push to reclaim their lives and stop allowing themselves to be mistreated. Ironically, it's during the month of love, but I think that makes it even better because self-love is just more important. It also prepares you for new love. Kick that jerk to the curb because someone who is deserving of you could be right around the corner and just in time for Valentine's Day. Don't be afraid to be alone. Don't let that person control your life. Don't let that person bring you down. Dump your significant jerk as true love is waiting for you from both yourself and someone who appreciates you for who you are. What is today? Put away the forks and spoons, for today is National Chopsticks Day, a February 6th observance. For about 25% of the world's population, chopsticks are the eating utensils of choice for every meal. The Chinese have been wielding them since at least 1200 BC, and by 500 AD, the slender batons have swept the Asian continent. People in the English-speaking world know these utensils as chopsticks, a name that came from the expression chop chop, meaning fast in Chinese Pagan English. The original Chinese name for them, however, has way more character, where they're called kaizi, or quick little fellas. Chopsticks' ascension also came courtesy of Confucius. As a vegetarian, he thought that knives' sharp points evoked violence and warfare. Thanks in part to his teachings, chopstick use quickly became widespread through Asia. I suppose I'll never look at a fork the same way again. What is today, you may ask? Hug an Addict or Alcoholic Day is observed every year on February 7th in the United States. The day is dedicated to destigmatizing addiction and rehabilitation. Strangers and addicts get together to observe the day, understanding how addiction can be cured. Many addicts suffer from stigma and alienation, and this is worrisome since companionship and acceptance are important on the road to recovery. With the correct resources and empathy, addicts can be free of alcohol and drug addiction and find their footing after recovering. Drug and alcohol addiction is a disease. It's a disease that does have a cure. Love and understanding are part of that cure. Put aside your judgment. No lectures today. Most addicts and alcoholics know who they are. They don't want to be alcoholics and addicts. Help them to recovery with your kindness and something as simple as a hug. Find out how you can contribute to this important cause by participating in Hug an Addict or Alcoholic Day. What is today? National Boy Scout Day celebrates the birthday of scouting in America on February 8th, 1910. Chicago publisher William Dixon Boyce filed incorporation papers in the District of Columbia to create the Boy Scouts of America. Boy Scouts, leaders, and the whole scouting family celebrate this February holiday. Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts offer a tremendously valuable program of life skills and values for millions of boys. It has been popular ever since Lord Baden-Powell founded Boy Scouts in the early 1900s in Great Britain. Boyce was lost on a foggy street in London when an unknown scout helped him by guiding him back to his hotel. When the boy refused a tip, explaining that he was only doing his duty as a scout, Boyce was inspired to bring the teachings of the British Boy Scout Association back to the U.S. You will receive your badge on February 8th if you celebrate National Boy Scout Day. What is today? National Cut the Cord Day happens on February 9th every year. The National Day was launched in 2020 on Sling TV's 5th anniversary. The TV service company believed that, as more Americans get to know the vast benefits of leaping expensive cable bills to more affordable streaming technology, the future of streaming services looks brighter. In celebration of this day, I'm going to share with you the services and links I personally use to watch television shows and movies for free. They're flashing across your screen now. I don't even bother with paid services like Netflix or Disney Plus, for example. Celebrate National Cut the Cord Day simply by cutting the cord and joining the streaming movement. With lots of useful apps and online tools at your disposal, you can learn the pros and cons of each digital streaming service provider and ultimately pick your favorite. The links for free streaming of movies and television you can find in the description of this video. What is today? Hey, I don't make these days up. I just report them. National Umbrella Day casts a little shade on February 10th. The day honors one of the world's most useful inventions, the umbrella. While the origins of the unilateral holiday remain a mystery, the world has been celebrating it since at least 2004. However, another celebration on the calendar promotes the entire month of March recognize the umbrella as well. People really love umbrellas, I'm guessing. The umbrella can be traced back to 3,000 years ago and has religious and mythological symbolism since its early history. 698 Egypt, China, and India are usually cited as being the important geographical locations of the umbrella and the parasol in the pre-European umbrella history. Today we honor one of the world's most conventional inventions, the umbrella. Not only does the umbrella help keep us dry from rain, but it also protects us from the heat of the sun. Umbrellas can also be used as a fashion accessory and garnish on your favorite drink. What is today? Make a Friend Day on February 11th is an unofficial holiday that encourages people to stop and take stock of their friend list and make new friends. To quote Yeats, there are no strangers here, only friends you haven't yet met. We must never stop making friends. That's why National Make a Friend Day is so important. A new friendship can open you up to new experiences. Friends can help us through challenging times. They provide us with the comfort of a safe emotional space where we can be ourselves. National Make a Friend Day was initiated through the internet, and like most of the observances I cover, the true origins are unknown. Say hello to new people and make new friends. Attend events in the city or your town where you can meet like-minded and interesting people. Be adventurous and attend an event that you may never have thought about attending. Who knows, you may even meet your future best friend there. Make a special effort on February 11th to meet someone new. Your life could change forever. What is today? Super Bowl Sunday takes place on the second Sunday in February. The two best football teams in the NFL battle their way to a world championship in the grandest TV spectacle in America. This year, Super Bowl 57 will take place at State Farm Stadium, home of the Arizona Cardinals. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles will face off, fighting for the prize Lombardi Trophy and the title of champions. The Super Bowl has evolved into much more than a championship football game. It is a cultural phenomena that nearly a third of Americans anticipate the whole year round, each for his or her own reasons. The spicy chicken wings, the hearty chili, the ice-cold beer, the rowdy friends, the big budgeted commercials, the spectacular halftime show, and last but not least, the football. So crack open a cold one, settle down on the couch, and flip on the TV. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'll post a video later this evening with the final results. What is today? Super Bowl Sunday takes place on the second Sunday in February. This year the game is or was played on February 12th. How long will we be watching? Since 2010, the longest Super Bowl remains Super Bowl 47 in 2013 between the 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens, which lasted 4 hours and 14 minutes because of a 34-minute blackout in the Superdome in New Orleans. Over the past 10 seasons, the average length of the Super Bowl is about 3 hours and 39 minutes. Using that measure, the game would end around 10:09 p.m. Eastern Time. 538, an American website that focuses on opinion poll, analysis, politics, economics, and sports blogging in the United States, studied NFL gaming during the 2020 season to find that just 18 minutes of a typical 3-hour broadcast involved game action. The numbers get more out of whack during the Super Bowl, where more than a quarter of an average broadcast is advertisements. I'm sure there is a Vegas bet out there or some kind of bet with money down on the length of the game. I'll post a video later this evening with the final results. What is today? Super Bowl Sunday takes place on the second Sunday in February. This year the game is played on February 12th, and here are some fun facts according to kidsworld.com. 8 million pounds of guacamole is consumed on Super Bowl Sunday. 14,500 tons of chips are eaten along with that guacamole. Of the top 10 most watched American television programs of all time, 9 of them are Super Bowls. The Super Bowl is measured in Roman numerals because a football season runs over 2 calendar years. Over 700,000 footballs are produced annually for official NFL use, and 72 of them are used for Super Bowl. It is the second most watched sporting event in the world. More than 100 million people worldwide watch the Super Bowl every year. In fact, Super Bowl 44 in 2010 unseated MASH's series final as the most watched show in television history with over 106.5 million watchers. The NFL has a policy against holding Super Bowl games in stadiums that have a climate of less than 50 degrees Fahrenheit unless it's an enclosed stadium. What is today? Super Bowl Sunday takes place on the second Sunday in February. This year the game is played on February 12th, and I have questions for you provided by kidsworld.com. Think fast. I only have a minute. What player has played the most Super Bowls? That's Tom Brady, has played in 9 games. Which team has played in 4 Super Bowls but has never led at any point during the game? That's the Minnesota Vikings. What is the name of the trophy for the winner of the Super Bowl? And that's the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Which players won the Super Bowl MVP 3 times? That will be Joe Montana. If the Super Bowl is the second most watched sporting event, what is the most watched sporting event every year? That's Soccer Champions League final. What company pays the MVP of the Super Bowl every year to sponsor their business? That's Disney. Which team was the first team to win 5 Super Bowls? San Francisco 49ers is the answer. Which team won the first Super Bowl? The Green Bay Packers. What current NFL teams have never played in the Super Bowl? That's 4. Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Cleveland Browns. Super Bowl LVII determined the champion of the National Football League, the NFL, for the 2022 season. It was the 57th Super Bowl and was played on Sunday, February 12th of 2023 at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, with kickoff time at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I knew this because I looked at the clock. The American Football Conference, the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs, defeated the National Football Conference NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles 38-35. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes was named Super Bowl Most Valuable Player, MVP, completing 21 of 27 passes for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns, while also rushing 6 times for 44 yards. Congratulations. What is today? National Poop Day takes place annually on the day after Super Bowl Sunday and is on February 13th this year. This may be the perfect day for you, especially if your team didn't win yesterday, because maybe you just don't give a poop, or maybe you have a lot of poops to give. National Poop Day was created in 2016 during a polling place election at the Madison Children's Museum. The children passed a referendum to allow for the celebration of National Poop Day. National Poop Day is a day to celebrate and educate ourselves about the importance of our body's natural functions, especially excremity and digestive systems. National Poop Day is a holiday celebrated on the day when municipalities supposedly report the most activity in their sewage systems. That means you ate a poop load of pizza and chicken wings yesterday. You also collectively drank billions of bottles of the cheapest beer you could find. Today is a good day to have yourself a relaxing poop. Just do me a favor and wipe afterwards. That would be appreciated. Thanks. What is today? Susan B. Anthony Day is celebrated on February 15th every year. This day marks the birth of Susan Brownell Anthony, who was one of the most influential women in American history. This one hits close to home as she lived most of her life in my home city of Rochester and is buried only a few short miles from where I'm sitting. Susan B. Anthony was born on February 15th of 1820 to Daniel Anthony and Lucy Reed Anthony in Adams, Massachusetts, the second oldest of 7 children. Anthony fought a lifelong battle for suffrage for women, equal labor, and educational rights for women. She also took a stand against the practice of slavery and the consumption of alcohol. It is because of Anthony's persistence that American women today vote freely. Susan B. Anthony died at the age of 86 of heart failure and pneumonia in her home in Rochester, New York on March 13th of 1906. There's no way I can give her achievements justice in a minute video. I will leave a link in the description for the official Susan B. Anthony Museum website to learn more about this legendary woman. What is today? today, let's wish one of my favorite Avengers a happy birthday. Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, originally known as the actress Elizabeth Olsen, was born in Sherman Oaks, California on February 16, 1989. 1989? That was the year I graduated. She's 33 today, that young whippersnapper. Elizabeth is the younger sister of How Rude actresses Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. She started her career as an actress in her sister's films as a youngster and began developing her own film career in her 20s. She starred in her debut film role in the thriller Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene in 2011, say that 5 times fast, for which she was acclaimed and nominated for Critics' Choice Movie Award. Olsen gained worldwide recognition for her portrayal of Wanda Maximoff in the Marvel Cinematic Universe media franchise, appearing in several films, as well as the superhero series WandaVision, which garnered her nominations for a Primetime Emmy Award and a Golden Globe Award. You best wish Elizabeth Olsen a happy birthday today, or she may just put a hex on you. What is today? Do you have crabs? I'm talking about the decapod crustaceans of the infraorder Brachyura, of course, not the crabs you receive from Becky in the backseat of your car. Champion Crab Races Day hosts a very interesting sporting event on February 17th. A typical crab race event requires people to enter crabs in competitions with the chance to win prize money. Competing crabs enter about 12 to 14 heat races. The winner of each race goes on to compete in the championship race. The race begins with the competing crabs under a bowl in the middle of a racing ring. Once the bowl is lifted, the race starts, and it's pure anticipation until the winning crab crosses outside the ring. The National Crab Racing Association, the NCRA, which was founded by Jim Morgan in 1979, is one of the most prominent organizations related to crab racing. They are associated with the holiday today, but it's unclear if they started it or not. Each year, a crab is awarded the Morgan Cup. I'm not sure what use a crab has for that. What is today? Why, it's cow milked while flying in an airplane day. What the hell is wrong with you? Everyone knows that. This has to be the most obscure day of observation to date, and there's actually a legitimate story behind it. Cow milked while flying in an airplane day is celebrated annually on February 18th to commemorate the day a cow named Nellie J, which later became Elm Farm Ollie, became the first cow to be flown and milked in an airplane. The event was part of a scientific effort to study the effect of height on cows' ability to produce milk. In the 72-mile flight over Bismarck, Missouri, Ollie's milk was put in paper cartons and parachuted down to the spectators to generate publicity. The trip was also meant to show the ability of the Ford trimotor aircraft that had only just begun shipping after its production began in 1925. That's utterly amazing how they move that cow in the air under such high stakes. And that, my friends, is no bull. I wouldn't steer you wrong. What is today? The NBA All-Star Game is an exhibition basketball event whose dates are organized by the sponsors a year in advance. This year it will be held on February 19th and hosted by the National Basketball Association, the NBA, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The 72nd NBA All-Star Game broadcast through TNT. Team LeBron and Team Giannis go head-to-head to see who will take the crown. The league's most elite talent comes together in this best of the best matchup with the goal of raising awareness and boosting 2 local Utah organizations. Team LeBron playing for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Utah, and Team Giannis for Raise the Future look to give almost $1 million to the organizations by the end of the weekend. Burna Boy, Jewel, Post Malone, Rima, Thames, and Van Diesel are among the entertainers headlining the 2023 All-Star Weekend. An Afro Beats themed halftime show and a performance by Post Malone after the first ever in-arena NBA All-Star Draft headlined the festivities. What is today? The NBA All-Star Game was created as an entertainment exhibition. It was started in the 1950s during a point-shaving gambling scandal. Creators came up with the idea of this public relations move to bring back the popularity of the game. This year's results were not ideal. According to the Nuggets coach Michael Malone, the 2023 NBA All-Star Game was dubbed the worst basketball game ever played. According to CBS Sports, G League call-up Mac McClung may have saved the NBA Slam Dunk contest on Saturday, but it now appears the NBA All-Star Game itself is in need of saving. Team Giannis defeated Team LeBron 184-175 on Sunday in Salt Lake City in a game that more closely resembled a layup line or shooting practice than a competitive basketball game between the world's best athletes. The alarm ending provided a bit of drama in the fourth quarter as Team LeBron attempted to erase a 19-point deficit. The rest of the game lacked any sort of competitiveness or edge on the defensive end of the court. Yikes. What is today? Every third Monday of February, we celebrate President's Day in all its patriotic glory. Many people relish their day off of work, but they might be surprised to know that was the point. In 1971, President's Day moved in an effort to create more three-day weekends for the public in hopes this would inspire greater productivity nationwide. It was believed at this point in the year the restorative effects of the winter holidays have begun to fade and people need another break to regain some of that lost stamina. President's Day is celebrated every year on the third Monday of February. February 20th this year, all the presidents in American history are remembered and honored for their exemplary work in making America the great country it is today. What is today? If your mind is hanging out in the gutter with mine, this day may have a totally different meaning for you. February 21st is National Sticky Bun Day. For most, these types of sticky buns are also sometimes known as cinnamon rolls, caramel rolls, or monkey bread. Known as Schnecken, meaning snail, the sticky bun is rolled into a sweet spiral resembling its German name. Still considered to be a Pennsylvania specialty, many believe the sticky bun's origin in the United States began in the 19th century. German settlers brought their baking traditions with them when they began settling in and around Philadelphia. Imagine filling your kitchen with the smell of spices and caramel baking in the oven. There are videos and blogs to help you with technique, and the recipe choices are endless, so really, what are you waiting for? This video is supplied by Oh Yum with Anna Olson, so make sure to look her up. She'll teach you how to make sticky buns. What is today? February 22nd is National Walk the Dog Day. This day combines two of the most happy-making things we have in this life, dogs and exercise. Humans love walking with their four-legged friends, and pooches love their strolls with their people. A daily walking routine keeps both of you and your pet healthy. Walks are a great way to bond with your pet and get them the exercise they need. A daily walk lets you and your pet get the social interaction you both need. Walking reduces stress and relieves anxiety in both people and pets. Giving back your love for each other is as simple as taking a walk. Dogs love exploring new terrain. If you're a city dweller, venture out to the nearest nature park or simply try a different route than normal. Your dog will love exploring the new sights, scents, and sounds. Grab your walking shoes, a leash, and some treats for the road, and take your favorite pooch for a stroll to celebrate National Walking the Dog Day. What is today? Tootsie Roll Day on February 23rd is a day dedicated to celebrating the chocolate-flavored candy that has been a favorite among people throughout generations. Tootsie Roll is a chocolate-flavored taffy that has been manufactured in the United States since 1907. The candy has qualities similar to both caramel and taffy without being exactly either confection. The manufacturer Tootsie Roll Industries is based in Chicago, Illinois. It was the first penny candy to be individually wrapped in America. The current U.S. ingredients of a Tootsie Roll are sugar, corn syrup, palm oil, condensed skim milk, cocoa, whey, soy, lecithin, and artificial and natural flavors. Tootsie Roll Day is the birth anniversary of the inventor of the Tootsie Roll, Leo Hirschfield. People celebrate this day by enjoying those yummy Tootsie Rolls. What is today? World Bartender Day is celebrated across the globe every year on February 24th. Bartenders are indispensable to the hospitality industry. Bartending traces its roots back to the Asian, Roman, and Greek eras, where a majority of bartenders were innkeepers or alehouse owners who brewed and produced their own liquor. Historically, bartending was considered a low-reputation profession. In the mid-1930s, bar and restaurant owners began needing bartenders to be pre-trained, so the schools were open to meet the need, celebrating the creative genius and talents of those important people tending bars all across the globe. World Bartender Day was created in recent years. Today, we cannot imagine a pub, bar, or nightclub without a bartender. They keep patrons well supplied with beverages, especially the alcoholic kind, and make sure that everyone is having a good time. The next time you enjoy a fun night out with your friends, don't forget to thank the bartender and tip them well, you cheap bastards.
Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Old time is still a-flying. And this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying.
Thank you, Mr. Pitts. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. The Latin term for that sentiment is carpe diem. Now, who knows what that means?
Carpe diem. That to seize the day.
Very good. Why does the writer use these lines?
Because he's in a hurry.
No. Ding! Thank you for playing anyway. Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day going to stop breathing, turn cold, and die.
What is today? Carpe Diem Day is celebrated each year on February 26th. The only moment we have is the present, this moment, right now, and that's all there is. Use it and live. What is today? International Polar Bear Day is an annual event celebrated every February 27th to coincide with the time period when polar bear mums and cubs are sleeping in their dens and to raise awareness about the conservation status of the polar bear. International Polar Bear Day raises awareness of the issues facing polar bears and the ways in which we can reduce our carbon footprint. Climate change is a huge threat to polar bears' existence. You may have different thoughts about climate change, be it man-induced or nature's natural progression. Either way, there is no denying the effect it has on these beautiful creatures. Polar bears are classified as marine mammals, carrying with them a thick layer of body fat. I do the same. And a water-repellent coat to keep them insulated against the icy cold air and water they encounter on the sea ice of the Arctic Ocean, with their territory melting away beneath them. International Polar Bear Day is an important opportunity for us to remind ourselves what is at stake here, preserving the future of these magnificent mammals. What is today? The key ingredient to the perfect breakfast. This February 28th, get yourself a mouth-watering stack towards heaven because it's National Pancake Day. Celebrated annually in spring, and since beginning its first celebration in 2006, IHOP restaurants have raised over $24 million to support charities in the communities in which they operate. 600 BC, the first recorded mention of pancakes dating back to ancient Greece, and comes from a poet who described warm pancakes in one of his writings. 1100 AD, Shrove Tuesday, also Pancake Day, becomes a traditional way to use up dairy products before Lent. The pancake breakfast is born. The pancake status as a food of the people stretches back centuries. In the 1750 cookbook Country Housewife's Family Companion, author William Ellis praised pancakes as one of the cheapest and more serviceable dishes of a farmer's family, in particular because all the ingredients of the common ones are on his own produce, are ready at hand upon all occasions. Pancakes are very easy to make and can be made in mass quantity fairly quickly.